Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the show. All right, guys, we got we got a new one here for you. Kind of a retro one. I never picked up. Always saw it everywhere I went, whether it's a toy store or online. Never picked it up. As you guys know, if you've been watching my channel, I found like a pop up sale yard sale that was selling Spawn figures, and yeah, I got it. The goddess, as you guys know, if you've been loyal subscribers to my channel for centuries, you guys know I've reviewed probably almost every single one of these figures. I'm not going to go through all of them, but yeah, I think I've reviewed almost every single one of these figures, man, or at one point have owned all of these figures. Maybe sold a few off. Maybe there's a few I haven't reviewed. I'm not going to go through them right now because I don't want to make this review any longer than it has to be. But here's a little read up on the goddess. I'll do a little read up, then we'll unpackage it. And if you're wondering, it's from 1997. Okay, here we go. The goddess. In this alternate universe, she is the ultimate hunter for the realm of light. Her priority is to hunt manga and ninja Spawn, thinking of them to be in the league with the Temple of Darkness. She is unaware that both spawns are like her, fighting against the Dark Temple's evil. The goddess ranks as the most proficient as well as the most beautiful warrior for the realm of light. All right, guys. Staff, shoot, spear, removable blade, fits in hand. Look at that, bro. Come on, man. Come on. Do they make stuff like this anymore? Okay, so let's take her out the package and look at that. Who else is doing reviews of 20-year-old figures? Well, actually, no. 1997, almost 30 freaking years, man. Depends on when you're watching this review. Let's take her out of the package, and nothing's more cooler than old Mcfarlane. Okay, so let's take her out of the package. Actually, you know what? Yeah, let's go take her out of the package first, and then we'll take a look at her accessories. And one thing, her mask popped off. One thing I like about old school Mcfarlane is it doesn't give us all these damn twisty ties. And I love the attention to detail of old school Mcfarlane toys, man. McFarlane Toys just doesn't do it like he used to, bro. And that's pretty sad. You think, McFarlane was a leader amongst everyone, and yeah, and he went kind of downhill, in my opinion. Most of his stuff did anyways. Okay, so here is the goddess. She looks high as some Japanese writing on there. If you guys know, just let me know. I'm guessing it probably says goddess. And that right there says, I am your god, right on her boobie. I don't know if you guys know. Anybody speaks Japanese, let me know. Or is it just made up? Or does it say kitchenware in Japanese? On the side it says knife and then fork. Oh my god. All right. Hold on. So here's the helmet. So let me put the helmet on for detail, cover up this ugly face, because the face, I mean, it's not bad compared to some of the faces being done today, but it's not great either. So pop on her helmet. And there it is. The helmet looks great. I love the detail of the helmet. That's really, really nice. Really nice, man. The creativity of old school Mcfarlane toys, man. And he never, being that this is a figure that's almost 30 years old, he never skipped out on paint apps. That's for damn sure. And I can't say that for the new Mcfarlane. So as far as articulation, listen, it's a 90s action figure, so you're not going to get much. Her hips turn inwards. You can't really get her to kick up straight. I mean, I ain't going to lie. If there's one figure I would like to see Mcfarlane remake, it's probably this one, but I don't know how popular she was back in the day. She could probably put her foot up on something, you know what I mean? like a stand right here, boom. And then she's got the superhero pose going on. Let me move this out the way. And yeah, typical, like I said, 90s articulation, arms go up and down, just a bend at the elbow, wrist swivel, yeah, yeah. Head movement, nah, it is what it is. It just goes back and forth. There was no such thing as a ball joint neck back in the day. That right there, that's kind of horrible. You can see that is glued on the back right next to her butt. It's on. How long is it going to stay there? Is the next question. I love the boots and the craziness of it all as well. I think the craziness of old school McFarlane toys is what makes these figures last, is because he was just going overboard, man. He was doing things that other toy companies weren't, or never tried to, or never dared to, should I say. The real hair, not real hair, but the real hair, that's really cool. I like that a lot. Move that out the way so I can put on her butterfly wings. And how the hell, I'm guessing right there, like that, right? They pop in like that. I'm just guessing. They have to squeeze into here. Let's try squeezing them in. There, and then I'm thinking that's how they go in. I could be wrong. And oh, see, that's what I mean. Something just popped off because I was trying to squeeze her wings into her back, and they don't. They just kind of sit there. And yeah, this popped off right here. See, I was just talking about this glue piece. Look at that. That glue piece right on her butt. It would look like it was going to fall off. It can peg back in there. I can't glue it back in there, but that's what I mean. It's an old school McFarlane toy. So yeah, see, that's what I mean. Definitely needs glue, but yeah, that's how the wings. Hold on. Where's the picture? Where's the picture at? Hold on. So let me go to the picture here. So yeah, it looks like the wings. No, okay, I guess that's how they go in there. Okay, they don't extend outwards. You just peg them into the back of the goddess. The goddess. This one barely pegs in there. It's going to break off. But anyways, it's a little bit too much. But nonetheless, put the hair back in between her wings. Get your minds out the gutter, freaks. Okay, and then she comes with a weapon. So let me try to stand her up. She's probably going to be off balance, being that she's back heavy. Stay right there, Miss Goddess. And if you guys tuned in for this little retro review, I just want to say thank you. And so she comes with this thing right here, which looks like some kind of freaking spear. And it shoots the spear. It's a spear weapon. That's really cool. And it has this little red band right here, which serves no purpose whatsoever. I guess they were thinking of baton twirlers back in the day, because she is a woman and you got to give her a red band because she is a woman, and you got to, she is maybe perhaps was once a cheerleader. Thinking in 90s guy terms, right? There's that. Let's see how well it shoots. Yeah, look at that. The action feature still works till this day. That is pretty cool, man. And yeah, look at this. Just the detail. Like, you don't get this shit nowadays. Yeah, it's a little bit oversized and it's a little bit too much, and a whole lot of shit is going on with it, but damn it, it freaking works. It's like, I don't know. There's a million things I could probably say about this thing. And it's not heavy, but it's not light either. So I don't know. At least the effort went into it, right? The red band, at least it's not plastic, and the hair is not plastic. So that's old school McFarlane. If it was new McFarlane, this would be rubberized. The band would be rubberized. The hair would be plastic. So yeah, there's that. And of course, I don't know how well she's going to be able to hold this damn thing, because her arms are not that solid, but she can hold it, I guess. I guess that's how she would hold it, right? Yeah, listen, overall design, if you guys are fans of Manga Spawn like I am, oh, speaking of, I do have a Manga figure over here that's been sitting over here. I mean, the Manga series was really, really cool and really unique. And yeah, man, I am a big fan of the Manga stuff. The overall designs were great and outrageous and extreme, but at the same time they were stupid and they just didn't make any sense. And I guess that's why I like them. You know what I mean? They were just kind of, I don't know how to say it, ridiculous, over the top. That's the word I'm looking for. Over the freaking top. To compare with some of the new figs that I reviewed, here is, or the last figure I reviewed, here's another spear um, favorite wheeling bad guy and dressed in purple. You have the Dracula Shredder right here from NECA. I was trying to make up some shit as I'm going along, but I kind of messed that up. Speaking of, break out some more manga stuff. It's oddly enough, I have the Deviant right here, and this is what I mean. Like this is the new Mcfarlane right here. Yeah, there's a lot of paint apps missing from here, and then compare with some of the new stuff right here. I mean, it actually blends in very well with the old stuff. The old stuff manga blends in with the new stuff manga, and that's if there's one thing I like about McFarlane's Spawn line is the manga stuff, especially this shit going on, because I do like a lot of the robot stuff that McFarlane puts out. He needs to put out more stuff. Yeah, they probably don't sell as well as like a regular Spawn, but even then, you know what I mean? I love when I can take this guy who was made last year, what, 2024? Or maybe this year. Was it this year? And then put her with something that, you know, was made in 1997, and they go very, very well together, which is great, man. It's really, really great. I mean, it shows you how far McFarlane was ahead of his time, being that this was almost 30 years ago, and this was last year. You know what I mean? Think about that. Think about that. Another Spawn figure. Here is my custom hamburger head Spawn, who's all dusty and all this shit going on. But this is what I mean. This one, I do like this figure, but you know, compared to the old school McFarlane, like I said, it's just so dope. Speaking of, I got more freaking Spawn figures out here. Why not Kickstarter Spawn? This is what I mean. If McFarlane can go back to this and give us, I know it's impossible to give us 20, maybe $25 or 30 figures like this, you know, that's well detailed. Um, yeah, I don't even want to get into it, man. It's just a long process, long thought process right there for me. So I'll just leave that alone. But anyways, here she is, the goddess with grid. If you guys can see his head right there, this is the kind of stuff I like. So this is the kind of stuff I buy, and I like this kind of stuff. So I think I just repeated myself. And speaking of more robotic goodness, here she is with the Elite Sinja NECA. This is TMNT. This is actually a pretty cool figure. I do like him a lot. And Batman, why not? Break out Batman for the hell of it. 1 million. This is some of the figures that I've reviewed. Warhammer, another one of my favorite lines right here. Warhammer, really, really dope. I really like Warhammer. Warhammer is really, really cool. And then just for the hell of it, being that we got a Marvel Legend, here she is with Venom, Agent Venom. Oh, right, guys. Oh, you know, speaking of, why not? Let's break him out since I got him here. Let's do another comparison. Here he is with, here she is with freaking Berserker. All right, guys. So let me give you my rating. Not too shabby. The overall design, in my opinion, still holds up. You guys saw me do some comparisons, you know, with a figure that just was released, and this one was released almost 30 years ago. So it still holds up to this day. I really like it. I like the action feature. I wish they would do more action figures that had the action feature where, you know, you shoot out a spear, or maybe like a spinning fist, a spinning fist, or maybe a spinning waist, you know, action waist, to where, you know, they're action figures, right? You know, I miss the days of when action figures they can actually had action features. You know what I mean? Overall, this is a really nicely designed, really great design. I feel like they missed an opportunity to do a manga she Spawn, right? I feel like she could have been a manga she Spawn instead of a goddess, but that's her name. That's what McFarlane named her. So overall, really good design. So I'm sure when this thing came out, I'm sure it was really cool. So I'm gonna, for that alone, and it still holds the test of time today, I'll give it a solid. I'll give it an 8.8 out of 10. I really like this figure. She's a really nice display piece. Essentially, an articulated statue. But overall, the design is really nice. And like I said, it still holds up to this day. So yeah, man, it's really, really cool. It's really cool overall. This time I've been doing this crap for almost a decade, which is unbelievable, and I'm still reviewing retro Spawn figures, and it was really cool to review this, retro Spawn figure after doing this stuff for almost a decade, reviewing these figures for almost a decade. I can't believe it's been that long. And yeah, I hear you. So if you guys tuned in for this little review, leave your thoughts in the comments section. We'll go ahead and leave it at that. And I'll just want to thank you guys for tuning in. And let me know how you feel about this figure. And if you're wondering, no waist swivel at all. So I know one of you guys are going to ask me, does she turn the waist? And there's no waist swivel whatsoever. All right, guys, if you tuned in, I just want to say thank you. And I'll catch you in the next review.